Okay, I'm going to run through some of the skills you'll need for word processing. We have Microsoft Word 2007 down here at the bottom. I have zoom in. Now I've just zoomed in, so the font should be a bit larger. So I'm going to run first through the tabs up in the top and the various sections. So we have on this tab, we have cut, copy, and paste. There's cut, the scissors icon, copy, 2 pages, and paste. You can also highlight, and the shortcut would be Control-C for copy, Control-X for cut, and Control-V for paste. All the things to do with font can be found under the font bar here. Now if I highlight this font, and I can make it bold, italics, underlined, strike through, superscript and subscript, can increase the font size, decrease the font size, set particular font size, and as I'm hovering over it, I can see what it will look like. I can change the font size or font style to whatever font style that I want here. I can change the font color. The common ones that I use over here for paragraph, I can set the alignment, left, center, right alignment, and justify spreads it across the page if you've got more text, like in the form of a book. If I have bullets, I can set it to bullet points. You can find a variety of bullet points here to use, or that could be a numbered list. If I go back to bullet points here, I can also find out that I can indent. And if I need to know how far I need to indent from the edge of the page, it's showing up here on the ruler. The other thing I can do is I can do right mouse click, and I can come down to the bottom and I can look for paragraph. And in paragraph, I can find the indent here, and I can set the indent for a particular number. Now, one note about the numbers, they're all showing up as default as centimeters. If I need to set them for inches, which is unlikely, but it has happened, that is in File, Options. There are a number of options here. One of the options I can look at is Advanced, and if I scroll down in Advanced, I can see here that I have show my measurements in units centimeters. I can also set that for inches or millimeters or points, but I'm going to leave it at centimeters right now. It's rare that you have to change that, but that's where you change it. So this is the ruler on the top and the side. So bullet points, numbered lists. Here I have a fill color. If I have a box or a table, for tables, I'll show you this on table, I also have grid lines. Put a number of grid lines just like on Excel. And here I can show the hidden codes. They're useful. For instance, here I have a paragraph return. So if I see 2 of these, I know how many line spaces I've got in between here. This looks larger because if I look on this one, you'll see it. I'm at 1.15. Here's 1.5 line spacing. This is line spacing. Here's 2 line spacing, double line spacing. Here's back to single. And the hidden codes are useful to see what hidden codes you've got here. I've got a tab. Tab moves me along. If I insert tab, it will hitting the tab key just to the left of the letter Q. It moves me along, and I can set a tab on the ruler up here. This is a tab, and it's aligned to the left. I can change that to a center line tab, or a right line tab, or a decimal tab, which will line everything up on a decimal space, and then back to my left line tab. So this is one way of lining things up. If I set tabs, and if I set that other tab there, and I can do that from different lines. If I select my tabs, I can move them along, and all the text will tab out. So that's my ruler up here, my tabs, which I will now delete. So paragraph, line spacing. Now I'm going to look at insert. One of the most common things is insert page break, and you can see I have a new page, and this is the page break. So if I need to change that, I can zoom out and have a look. If I need to get rid of the page break, I can just highlight it and I can delete it. The reason I can see the page break is because I have show hidden codes on. I can turn that off, insert page break, and I can still delete it. It's just that I won't see it. So if I push the delete key, it still deletes. So that's insert table. I can click on the number of rows and columns I want for insert table. Now I have a table, and this is a context sensitive toolbar. So when I click on the table, anything to do with table is shown up here. If I click off, the table items are gone. If I click on, I can see the table, so I can change it. I can change the table around. Here's my layout on the table. And common table features include highlighting them, and then I can merge cells. I can merge cells like that, or I can highlight down this way. I can merge cells. I can also, if I click back on the table, I see in the layout, I can split the cells. So they come with number of columns 2, and then that split the cells here. So I can manipulate the cells by clicking on this. I can split a table if I need to. Now I've got a paragraph in between, so I've got 2 tables there. Okay, let's just delete this table. I mouse click, I'm going to cut it. Now I'm going to look at insert picture. This is from inserting picture you've already downloaded. I'll insert the picture. I have the picture highlighted. I can make it smaller. I can crop it. Once I've got crop on, I can take bits of the picture out. Oh, that's not crop, let's make it small. There's crop. I'm going to take out that top part of the picture. Okay, so I've cropped it. Once I'm clicking on it, once again, context sensitive, so now I've got all the formatting stuff for the picture on here. And one of the things you have to work on is word wrap, so I can do it square, so that around the picture like that, or tight. I can have it through, I can have it behind the text, as you can see here, top and bottom. And tight allows me to move it around the page like this. But if we've got it inline into the left, then I would just maybe do it like this, square. If I had it left aligned, here's my position on the page. Shows me where I want to have it. Top left, just like that. If I need to resize the picture, I can do that also here. You see I'm making it smaller, or I can drag it here. So all of these, when you click on the picture, the context sensitive toolbar comes up here. So I'm going to go back to the insert menu. Delete my picture here, I don't need it anymore. So we're looking at the insert menu. We have picture, clip art, similar to picture, but you search for the file and it's stored on the hard drive. No results found, not surprising. Cup. And you get a number of images that you can insert into the document. Shapes, text box, lines, rectangles, this is all vector drawings, and a number of shapes that you can add to the page. I'm going to close my clip art here, and I'm going to look at inserting a header. I can insert a header. This shows me where I can insert it. Left aligned. I've got 3 column types. I've got different types here. And I can also insert a footer at the bottom of the page in the bottom margin. Left, right. One of the common things I'll insert in a footer will be a page number. Put it at the bottom of the page. And I can look down here for my alignment, whether I want it to say page 1 of 1, page X of X, and what type of page number I want here. So there's your page numbers all in insert. One of the quickest ways to insert header is to double click on the top and then just set the alignment here, put in a name, whatever other data you need, and you can also look down on the footer, double click, and you can insert page number there also. There are other objects you can insert, such as text box, to write in and move around the page, and word art. We're going to look at page layout now. Page layout, you can set the margins to narrow or wide, and if you are given specific margins, then you go to custom margins, and here you can set them for, if you had to do 3 centimeters, for instance. Set them all to 3. Top left, bottom and right. You can also select the orientation, portrait or landscape. And now I set the margins. I can also set the page orientation here, and the size. Currently on A4, that's the default. A3 is larger, A5 is smaller. I can set the columns to 2 columns if I selected it. Set it 2 columns, and then I could take part of it if I wanted to, and I could select it. I can set it back to 1 column, which is by default. This section up here is in 2 columns. So these are columns. I'm going to undo that with the undo button here. If we look at review, go to review, and this is where I'm going to find spell checking. Spell check gives me options, and I can ignore it because perhaps it's a proper noun and it's spelled correctly, but it's not in the dictionary, or I can change it. And last, we'll have a quick look at view. Can have a print layout, full screen. I can't see that. Outline view. A number of different views here. I'm going to close outline view. And one final thing, widows and orphans. That's when you have one line hanging from a paragraph on the next page if it gets to the end of the page. And the way to control that is highlighting the paragraphs or the whole page and going into right mouse click, paragraphs, and here you can do widow and orphan control and pagination. There's a tick there that will help prevent that from happening. Okay, and that's all for the word processing review.